So, Craig, the third and final day of the 2021 National Coaches Forum. Three great speakers to wrap things up. First up, we had Stevie Bauer, the Belgian men's goalkeeping coach and a good friend of both of ours. What do you take away from his presentation?
Yeah, it was great to see Steve again. He always presents well. Today's session, I think what was sort of struck me and is a good reminder for all of us coaches is that the importance of working on what he would call the core skills, what we might call the basic skills, but even working with world-class goalkeepers to keep that in your repertoire, to keep on chipping away at some of those core skills and blend them in when you're working with some of the more advanced skills. So that was a good reminder, I thought, and a good tip for coaches to keep considering.
Cool. Yeah, and I really like this. Obviously, talked a little bit about the mental aspect of goalkeeping, especially the mental load, and perhaps that might be different than field players. But I think that his comments around or observations around managing goalkeepers, that number one, number two dynamic, and how they've gone about that in his environment was really insightful. And I could see that being really applicable to a lot of the coaches on the call. And if you think a college team with maybe three, often sometimes four goalkeepers on a roster, how they can manage those the dynamics at play there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So following on from Stevie, we had Mimi Smith joining us to share thoughts on mental fitness and self-care in coaching, a critical topic. I think it resonated with everyone. What do you take away from it?
Yeah, as you say, I mean, these last couple of years have been turbulent and a really timely presentation from Mimi. I think, yeah, she would have resonated a lot with a number of coaches there that have had an affinity with what she was talking about. I mean, as I reflect on what she spoke about, I remember at the start of this sort of lockdown, I was taking time to do 20 minutes of yoga and getting into a headspace and starting to take time to do some more relaxation stuff. But I've lost my way with that. And yeah, I do feel worse for it. So her big message, or one of her big messages, was about taking time for yourself out of the day and prioritizing yourself. I really do need to get back on that and learn the lesson from what she spoke about today.
Yeah, perhaps a timely reminder for all of us. It kind of almost felt therapeutic listening to her talk through some of the challenges we've been going through. And I think that a quote that she used that kind of stood out to me was, if it benefits you, it will benefit them. It was a really nice takeaway for me from her talk. Okay, so rounding out this year's National Coaches Forum, we had our women's national team head coach, Anthony Fary, joining us on the line from down under. What were the key lessons for you from his talk?
Well, I think the great thing for me was just to see some of the on-field stuff that I've been working on. He shared his video with us and shared some of the work that the team have been doing and the areas they've been focusing on. And clearly he's got some, he showed some of the tactical elements that have been working on, but he also spoke to some of the technical elements and areas of development. So just really for me, the big takeaway was great to see the team back in action, to understand a little bit about what they're working on and how they're trying to develop things. And really, again, just talking to the college coaches and all the coaches online about what can we do to help him develop the players of the future. And I think that was some good discussion around that. So that was enjoyable.
So yeah, and I think with that, the video coming from the recent games against Canada out in Chula Vista, it was interesting, if nothing else, to hear about the review process for each game, to essentially be taken through one of the reviews that they did whilst they were there. I think would have been interesting, and again, a tangible way of thinking about debriefing that coaches can maybe lean on in their own environment as well.